Dear of Infamy, is it worth a buy? Let's read the words, the beautiful, beautiful words of the developer. The creators of Insurgency present the next installment of their successful first-person shooter platform with Day of Infamy, featuring tactical close-quarters World War II combat across a wide range of multiplayer and co-op scenarios. Day of Infamy is a highly intense, teamwork rewarding experience. Guys, I looked at this, I think it was about a year ago, around about a year ago this month, I think, and I really enjoyed this game. I really did like it, but it looked like a plate of dog's vomit back then. It didn't look good at all, and it had a lot of bugs in it, but it did have pretty decent gunplay, and it's had a lot of love. It's had a lot of love since I last looked at it. It's had two new maps, which are Crete and Hoy, and it's pretty much complete now and fully released on Steam. It has a vibrant multiplayer community and a very vibrant co-op community. You can also play in practice mode, which is kind of single player missions, and you can also play the multiplayer maps and scenarios with bots. So it does have single player, this game. However, I wouldn't really recommend it as a single player game. It's pretty much online multiplayer and online co-op. The multiplayer is your typical aim down sight first person carnage. Basically, 32 players you can have in this, and there's lots of different maps and a few different game modes to play, and the gunplay is excellent. It's really good. The options are massive in this game. You can do everything. There's a FOV slider, it's got lean left, lean right, you've got all your different controls to ease the gameplay if it's running a bit jerky on your machine, but it runs like a charm on mine. It really does. They've optimized the gameplay a little bit more since I last played it as well, but I'm not having any issues whatsoever with it. Multiplayer is highly competitive, as you'd expect. It's made by the people who made Insurgency, so the gunplay is really good in multiplayer. But for me, the gem in this game is the co-op. I think the co-op is brilliant, and I'll tell you why. The AI is good. I think the AI is deadly in this game. The amount of times they will kill you, they are brutal. The AI in this game, it's so much fun. You have to be careful. I mean, you'll rack up a few kills against them, yes, but they are brutal, and the gunplay is very realistic. There's flamethrowers, there's machine guns, there's big machine guns, there's the light machine guns, there's SMGs, you've got bolt rifles, you've got sniper rifles, you've got explosives, but I love the flamethrower. The flamethrower is just awesome. It's so well animated in this. Reminded me of the Return to Castle Wolfenstein. In fact, the whole game reminds me of a bit of Return to Castle Wolfenstein as far as the multiplayer goes. It works on a class system, and it's all orientated around team play. And I was just talking about this before, about the lack of games that have team play orientated matches, but this is one that does. You should work together. You have to work together. There's no ifs or buts about it. If you don't work as a team, you will fail, and the big reason for that is, especially in the co-op side of things, is that when you die, you don't get back into the game. You go to kind of like a holding place, and the other team members have to run back to this place to let you out, and that costs you, but you also get rewarded for doing that as well. And I like that, because that means you've got to be aware of how many of your teammates are alive, and be aware that if you were one of the last couple left alive, you should be making tracks back towards freeing your mates. But the enemy AI will stop you. They'll be pushing through the map, and if you have to run back to free your teammates, that means the position that you were probably defending is going to get overrun, or could get overrun. So it's very tactical, this game, and the scenarios are great. You've got D-Day, where you're defending the beaches as the Germans, and I love that one myself. When the allies come up the beach, you mow them down, and then they get up into the bunker systems, and you've got to fall back and set up kill zones. There's lots of bottlenecks in this that are really good, but you can get through them, and it's all good fun, guys. It just looks shit. It just looks really shite, but it isn't shite. It's one of the best you'll play. The gunplay is great. It's very accurate. I don't find anything wrong with the gunplay. The grenades is good. The only kind of criticism I've got, and I don't know whether it's just because I'm switching between that many games doing what I do, that they all feel different, and I was running through doors, and I was kind of like running into door frames and that, and just not getting through them first time. But I think that's more me than the game, because other times I'm doing it fine. So I think it's just use, because I'm playing that many different first-person games. I mean, I've played 4 different first-person games this week,
as I look to see what's worth bringing to the WAB table. And this is certainly worthy of a WAB, because I'm going to give this a very, very big thumb up. It is one of my favourite games at the minute. I'll be playing this probably a lot of my spare time now that it's released. In fact, I might even grab a server for this. It's well worth playing in co-op. It's just such a good experience that when the artillery's coming down and the airstrikes is coming in, you have to run for cover or you will be blown apart. And that's one of the new additions to this game, and that's the body damage. Depending on how much damage each part of your body takes, that will be represented on the screen. You'll find bodies lying burning, you'll find bodies with no arms on, or if a grenade goes off, you'll see an arm flying away and the body just ripped to pieces in midair. It's really, really intense. It's just a shame that the graphics aren't that good, because everything else, in fact, that's what lets this down. And you know something, Call of Duty World War II's coming out this year, and I bet it's not as much fun as this. You see everything, you get everything. There's no unlocks in this game. You choose your class. You've got engineers, you've got flamethrowers, you've got support, you've got Bren guns, you've got Vickers machine guns, you've got Sten guns, you've got MP40s on the German side, and it's all class based. Yes, you have a sniper class, but everything's limited. You can't just have everybody as a sniper and things like that. So it's kind of a fair, even playing field, which is what I like about this game. Everybody gets access to everything from the off, and the game is good because it's good. It doesn't need a progression system. People have said, oh, games get boring when there's no progression. No, they don't. Not if the map's as good and the gunplay is good. It doesn't get boring. It's fucking great. People are just, I don't know, they're so used to shite, I think. I think that's the problem. They're just used to shite, and they just think, well, everything's going to be shite, so give us me fucking loot box, because that'll keep me happy for another 5 fucking minutes. This doesn't need loot boxes, it doesn't need unlocks, because it's just a bloody good game. So there you go, guys. Infamy is finally finished, finally released. It's a great multiplayer co-op shooter set in World War II. Plenty of maps, a few decent game modes, and you know what? You know what the best bit about this game is, guys? The price. It's only $14.99. So all you developers who are releasing games at $14.99, this is the kind of stuff that you've got to be better than. And I tell you what, I'm going to be looking at these other new games that's coming out. I mean, there's the new one from the Verdun guys, Tannenberg, which is you know, the next part from Verdun, which is set on the Eastern Front. I'll be watching that one and see how good that is compared to Infamy, because this is where the bar is for $14.99, guys. Well worth a buy, Infamy.